everyone, this is Nancy with Stamping Bee, and today we're going to be creating a card together. The card that I've seen out there is often called the vellum cover card, but we're going to put a little bit of a twist on this. Our upline Rachel Tessman showed us how to do a Christmas one, and using one of the Christmas sets this past Christmas, and it was beautiful. So today we're going to be using the All That You Are cling stamp set, and we're going to be using this big flower image. We're going to be using the thank you for all that you are and all that you do, and then we're also going to be using this little flower right here. Now this is a cling stamp set, and what that means is that you can take this image right here off the sticky sheet, place it on the back, and then this will automatically cling to your stamp sets. But because I'm a lazy stamper and I haven't taken the time to put my little sticky on it yet. So anyway, we're going to set that one aside for now. Some of the other supplies that you'll need is the embossing buddy. We're going to need a Versamark. We're going to need 2 Stamp and Blend markers. One is the light blackberry and the light old olive. We're going to need embossing powder, the white, your Tombow mono adhesive or your snail adhesive, your glue dots, 2 ink pads. Today we're using the Petal Pink, the Blackberry Bliss. We're going to be using a bone folder. And last but not least, we are going to be using our Stamparatus. Now the Stamparatus does come with 2 plates. However, today I am only going to be using 1 plate. All right, so to get us started, I'm going to place this on the side here because this kind of gives it a little bit more of a stable environment, or a stable top for us to press our ink on. If you don't have that under here, kind of gives a little bit, and it just helps to keep this straight and even. All right, so the first thing, we're going to take a piece 8.5 by 5.5 paper, or vellum, excuse me, and we are going to place it on our grid paper. Put that on here. We are going to take our embossing buddy. Now what the embossing buddy does is it just helps get rid of some of that extra static or any additional lint that might be on there, but mostly to get rid of the static, because when we go to put the embossing powder on there, we do not want that embossing powder to get stuck anywhere else except for the image that we are stamping. Okay. So this image is, we're going to place this on our paper, or vellum, excuse me. I'm used to saying paper, cardstock. And we're going to kind of pay attention. This is where the halfway mark is. This is going to be on the front of our card. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it up here and see that it's even here and about even from top to bottom as well. Okay, we're going to take our clear lid here, press down, and voila, we got our image, our stamp to stick to the one side. We're going to take our clear embossing Versamark, excuse me, and give that a good covering. All right, now we are ready to press this down. Okay, let's lift that up and take a peek. All right, that looks pretty good to me. Now, one thing that's really nice about the Stamparatus is that if I did miss a spot, I could come in and re-ink it again and then stamp it again, because these hold your paper in place. And it is so nice when you do make a mistake, being able to go back and re-stamp that image again. Okay, so now I am going to just take a scrap piece of paper. I did have a fancy little embossing tray, but for some reason my stuff always sticks to the inside of it, so we're just going to use the paper here to catch all our embossing powder. So we're going to go ahead and sprinkle this on top. You want to tap off the extra. Okay, as you can see, I got a little bit right there. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Nope, we're going to put this back in here. All right, so now the next step we're going to do is we're going to heat up our heat embossing tool, and that is what is going to heat up this area and make it all nice and white. So I'm going to put you in fast forward here. Okay, it looks like we got that covered really good. Now the next thing I'm going to do is actually since this is on vellum, I want to make sure that this is really warm and it kind of tends to warp a little bit. So I am going to just place this upside down over here for now, and then I'm going to take our biggest block that we have, and you can use a book or whatever, but just something to put it on there to help kind of keep it flat for now. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take and get our inks out. Our blends will be there. We are going to go ahead and stamp the inside of our card. Now, the inside of our card, I've already cut, and it is, let's see here, it is 4.5 by 6.5, and it's scored at 3 1/4. All right, and we're just gonna go ahead and fold that in half, using our bone folder to give it a good crease. All right. So now on the inside of the card, we're going to use our Blackberry Bliss, and we're going to stamp our greeting on that. A little crooked, but that's okay. And we're going to take our little flower and do that in our, let's see here, I forgot the color. What am I using? It is the Petal Pink. I've dealt with too many pinks today. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to use a little piece of vellum, and it is from our Floral Romance. That is also in our Occasions catalog, the 2019. And I cut a piece down to, oh goodness, what size was it? I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, and then I did forget. The inside vellum, it's 3 inches by 4 1/4. And we're going to just place that on the inside of the card here, just to add a little bit of color along with these. Okay, and this is where we're going to use our glue dots. Now with vellum, it is kind of hard to see, or I shouldn't say it isn't, it is easy to see any adhesive that you put on there. But since this is on the inside, I'm not going to worry about it too much, because majority of the time they're going to be looking at what you wrote over here and won't pay attention to the glue dots. Okay, and you'll see what I mean when I get that done. So basically just have the glue dots in the 4 corners. We're just going to lay that on the inside, like so. Awesome, look at that, that turned out really good. You can't you can't even see where the glue dots are. Okay, so that's going to be the inside of our card. All right, now back over to our vellum piece. I am going to use our bone folder, and we're just going to give this a good crease. Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our 2 markers, and we're going to color in our image. One thing I didn't mention beforehand is this is the front of the card where we did the embossing. You're going to want to do the coloring on the inside of the card, and it doesn't matter how you color. If you color out of the lines, as you can tell, you can't tell the difference on the front, okay, if you color out of the lines. So you are good to go on that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our inside of our card, and we're going to glue it down on the inside. Okay, so what it's going to look like once we get it all done, it's going to look like that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, one thing that I did on this for lining it up is I lined it the middle up to one of the straight lines here, and it should be a straight line right here, and that helps you line up where you want it to be. It'll be even at the top and even at the bottom. So on my card it would be 2 little squares here, 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 and here. And the 2 little squares that I'm talking about are the little squares on the actual paper. So if you have grid paper like that, it works awesome in lining up the inside of your card. Okay, and voila, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? One other thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually cover up the back side of our card. And the reason is because this is vellum and you can see the tape on the outside. So all I did is cut another piece, which is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, or 4 1/2, excuse me. And we're just going to put tape on this. This will also give you, you know, some people put handmade by and all that kind of stuff on the back of the cards. So you're able to do that on this side. And it will cover up the back, like so. All right. Perfect. And that is our beautiful little card. Now, what you could do is you could stamp out a little piece of a greeting and put it on here. You could add another ribbon or some gems onto this, but for me, I like the simplicity of it and the elegance of it, and it just opens up like that. Well, thank you so much for stopping by today and watching our video for us. Make sure you hit the like or the heart button, and make sure you share our information with other stampers or other crafters that you think that would might enjoy this video, and please subscribe to our channel as well. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.